You're texting back and forth with a woman you really like. She's being cold, distant, maybe even a little disrespectful. Your first instinct? Chase harder, text more. Try to win her back with attention and validation. But what if I told you that the exact moment you stop chasing, the exact moment you stop trying to earn her approval, everything flips? The power dynamic shifts so dramatically that she suddenly becomes the one wondering how to keep you interested. Most men spend their entire dating life chasing validation like it's oxygen. They twist themselves into pretzels, jump through hoops, and sacrifice their dignity just to stay in her good graces. And what happens? She loses all respect for them. Today, I'm going to show you how to flip that script completely. Here's what most guys don't understand about attraction. A woman isn't drawn to the man who bends to her every mood. She's magnetically pulled toward the man whose center cannot be shaken, no matter what emotional storm she brings his way. I'm not talking about being cold or cruel. I'm talking about living with such grounded focus that her little emotional tests don't even register on your radar. When she realizes you're not like every other guy who's crossed her path, the entire game changes. Her patterns change. Her approach changes. She starts looking at you differently because suddenly, she's the one wondering how to capture and keep your attention. What I'm about to share isn't manipulation or games. It's about stepping into a level of masculine confidence that's so rare in today's world that when women encounter it, they can't help but be drawn to it like a magnet. The biggest mistake men make? They think connection means becoming her emotional twin. If she's happy, they're happy. If she's upset, they get upset. If she's having a bad day, they absorb her negativity like an emotional sponge. But here's the brutal truth. The more you let her emotions control your mood, the less she sees you as stable. And stability is one of the most magnetic masculine traits you can possess. Think about it like this. When she's spinning in emotional circles, you don't jump into the tornado with her. You stay rooted. You acknowledge her feelings without absorbing them. You can listen when it's worth listening. But you never let her storm knock you off your foundation. Here's what this looks like in real life. She's having a breakdown about work, and instead of getting stressed with her, you remain calm and say, "That sounds frustrating. What are you going to do about it?" She's being moody and trying to pick a fight, and instead of engaging, you simply say, "I can see you're upset. Let me know when you want to have a real conversation." When she realizes she can't drag you into her chaos, something powerful happens. She stops seeing you as someone she can control and starts seeing you as the calm, stable presence she wants to be near. This is where so many men completely lose themselves. The second they meet a woman they like, they make her the center of their entire universe. They drop their hobbies, cancel plans with friends, and suddenly their whole life revolves around her schedule and her feelings. At first, she might enjoy the attention. But over time, something dies inside her respect for you. Why? Because women can feel it when you've abandoned your purpose for them. And it doesn't inspire admiration, it kills it. You need to be the man who's busy building something bigger than her temporary moods. A man who, even if she disappeared tomorrow, would still wake up with fire in his chest and a clear mission in his head. This doesn't mean you ignore her. It means she knows your attention is a choice, not an obligation. It means she understands that while she's important to you, she's not your entire world. When a woman realizes she's dating a man with genuine purpose, someone who has goals, ambitions, and a life that doesn't revolve around her validation, she starts valuing his time differently. She starts working to earn a place in his world instead of expecting him to revolve around hers. Too many men spend their energy convincing women why they're worth keeping around. They list their accomplishments like they're applying for a job. They defend themselves against her accusations. They try to justify every decision they make. But that's not masculine energy. That's negotiation from a place of insecurity. Here's the mindset shift that changes everything. You never need to tell a woman you're the prize. You live in such a way that she feels it without you saying a single word. And if she doesn't recognize it, that's her loss, not yours. When you walk with that kind of quiet self-assurance, something flips in the dynamic. She stops questioning your value and starts questioning whether she's good enough for you. This shows up in small ways. She criticizes something about you, and instead of getting defensive, you just smile and say, "Okay." She tries to make you jealous by mentioning other guys. And you genuinely don't care because, your worth isn't determined by her attention. The man who doesn't need to prove his value is the man she can't stop thinking about. Here's a non-negotiable truth. You must walk away from disrespect instantly, not after the third warning, not after she apologizes for the 10th time. Immediately. Women will test boundaries, not because they're cruel, but because they want to know if you'll actually enforce them. If you let something slide that clearly crossed your line, you've just shown her that your standards are negotiable. The most powerful move you can make? Cut off access the moment she crosses a boundary you've clearly established. No yelling, no debating, no dramatic speeches, just action. She shows up late to your dates repeatedly? Stop making dates. She disrespects you in front of others? Leave immediately. She tries to manipulate you with emotional blackmail? Don't engage. She might call you stubborn. She might get angry. She might even try to make you feel like you're overreacting. But deep down, she'll respect you more than any man who let her get away with crossing his boundaries. This isn't about being harsh or unforgiving. It's about showing that you value yourself enough to enforce the standards you've set for how you allow people to treat you. Here's what kills attraction faster than almost anything else: predictability. If she can script your every move, she can control you. If every time she ignores your text, you blow up her phone, game over. If every time she mentions another guy, you get visibly jealous, game over. If every time she pulls away, you chase harder, game over. Instead, you need to move in ways she can't predict or control. Sometimes you respond to her texts immediately. Sometimes you don't respond for hours. Sometimes you're completely available. Sometimes you're genuinely busy with your own life. This isn't about playing games or being manipulative. It's about genuinely having a full, dynamic life that doesn't revolve around her mood or her schedule. That little bit of uncertainty, never knowing exactly how you'll respond or when you'll be available, keeps her mind actively engaged with thoughts of you when you're not around. The predictable guy becomes background noise. The unpredictable guy becomes an obsession. If she's giving her time, energy, and attention to someone else, let her. That's her choice. And you have far better things to do than fight for a woman who isn't choosing to fight for you. Most men, when they sense competition, go into overdrive. They start texting more, trying harder, doing more to win her back. But here's what that communicates: desperation. When she sees that you're genuinely willing to let her walk without chasing, it rattles her. Why? Because most men will scramble, plead, or try to outshine the other guy. But the man who looks her in the eye and calmly says, "Do what you want. I'll be fine either way," that's the man she can't forget. This isn't about being cold or indifferent. It's about having such a strong sense of self-worth that you refuse to compete for attention that should be freely given. The right woman won't make you compete. She'll choose you clearly and consistently. This is the backbone of everything we've talked about. You must be genuinely willing to lose her. If you're afraid to lose her, you'll bend every rule to keep her. You'll overlook disrespect. You'll sacrifice your peace. You'll abandon your mission and compromise your values. But when you operate from a place that says, "I was whole before you and I'll be whole if you leave," you've already won the game. That energy is rare. That energy is intoxicating. That energy makes her see you not just as a man, but as the man. This doesn't mean you don't care about her or the relationship. It means you care more about maintaining your integrity and self-respect than you do about keeping someone around who doesn't genuinely want to be there. When a woman realizes she's dealing with a man who genuinely doesn't need her validation to feel complete, everything changes. She stops taking you for granted and starts appreciating what she has. At the end of the day, this isn't about manipulation or games. It's about living in such a way that your peace, your mission, and your standards always come first. Here's the brutal truth that most men don't want to hear. A woman can't truly love or respect a man she can control, but she will move mountains for the man she can't. So here's your challenge. For the next 30 days, I want you to practice being that unshakable man. When she tests your boundaries, enforce them immediately. When she tries to pull you into her emotional chaos, stay grounded. When she expects you to chase her attention, focus on your own goals instead. Stop explaining your value and start living it. Stop competing for what should be freely given. Stop making her the center of your universe and start building something so compelling that she wants to be part of your world. If you're ready to make this shift, comment below, "I am unshakable," because that's what you're becoming. Not the man who bends and breaks under pressure, but the man who remains solid no matter what storms others bring. The choice is yours. You can keep being the guy who chases, pleads, and compromises his way into being taken for granted, or you can become the rare man who commands respect simply by respecting himself first. Which man will you choose to be?